Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Low Budget LCS. I am excited to join you on this Sunday evening with two storied organizations here, the Rebels versus the Empire. Team versus team. Teammates pulled apart. Teams torn asunder and clashed against each other. And I'm joined by the artisan of this poster you see before you, Full Metal.
Thank you. Yeah, you gotta get some artistry in here, you know?
Yeah, we're upping the budget just a little bit, but do not think we're getting high budget, okay? We are mid-low budget at max.
We're just, we're finding the dimes now instead of just the pennies on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, inflation, you gotta keep up, right?
You have to. Alright, I do believe draft is starting.
Oh, man.
Looks like we're getting some bands out. We've got the Kane, Seraphine, and Wukong bands out on the left side. We got Mumu, Vladimir, and it looks like we're waiting on the last band coming out. Because we don't see any ADC bands coming out, so I wonder if we're gonna get the interesting Jinx versus Zaya this match.
Yeah, you were saying that it's very... One team basically has only played Jinx, and the other team has basically only played Zaya, right?
It seemed like it. It definitely seemed like it. But it does look like we do get a Zaya ban out. So we got one ADC out of here.
Will it be... But so, the Narwhals are the ones who have been playing Jinx, right?
Correct.
So Jarvan... Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Jarvan is just being a staple jungler right now. Huge for just the early ganks going into either bot or mid and getting the game snowballed from there. Just huge into pretty much any team comp you can run at this point. So happy to see it, but not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the counter picks are going to be here. Are they going to go with the bot lane? And it looks like they are. They're hovering the Kai'Sa.
Will it swap to Jinx at the last moment? No, that is going to
It will be the Kai'Sa.
locked.
Opting to stay a little bit farther range, doesn't want to get knocked up by this Jarvan, wants to poke out and stay a little farther range until it's time to go all in. Curious what they matched up with here. They're
higher mobility for sure as well.
So now they did ban out the Amumu, they did ban out the Vladimir, so they don't want two bursty comps. They want it to go out to a more traditional team fight. It looks like they're gonna go for the Poppy to try and hold back that Jarvan.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Poppy countering Jarvan. I think we saw it in the last series that I casted as well. Really potent. You can use that W to block the EQ. Picking it up early here is potentially a little bit bad, although with the current state of League being what it is, where almost every champion has a dash, you're almost assuredly going to get a little bit more value out of that, and there we see the Jinx being picked up on the other side.
So it will be their Jinx. Now the question is that what will they pair with? Because Milio is up, so you can go the Milio route, as we had mentioned before stream. But I'm curious if they just go with the staple, if they just go for a hard engage on this Kai'Sa, try and reach her. Especially with that Poppy, it's going to be a little tough with any dashes, so Rakan's going to be a tough choice in there. It'll be interesting to see what they pick, and it looks like they're going to go with the Ornn in the top lane.
Interesting. I kind of like Ornn here because it feels like almost... I'm not sure what exactly is in Tarded's champ pool, but Ornn is good against Jarvan because you can explode Cataclysm. So having the Ornn on your team both provides you the scaling and security of the Ornn items, which you're going to love with Jinx, and Jarvan helping facilitate through the early game should help that sort of, those pieces fit together, and it prevents that from being picked top lane. That is very true. With the Thresh buffs that have happened, I know Jackie Boy is playing here for the side of the Highlanders. That man loves his Thresh. There's an infamous line from a series where it's PC Jackie Boy snorts a line and flashes in.
He flashes in with a Thresh, huh? And he's got a play. There's really no other way to land it besides a flash in. No one's gonna range that thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I would expect that to potentially be an option. It looks like both teams have banned out hyper scaling mid lane mages.
It's interesting to me. So I mean, they picked the Poppy, so they know. Listen, we just ban out this Veigar, this Victor, and there's no real super strong scaling mid laner without any dashes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they picked the Camille into the Ornn. So the Camille will have the early game pressure, and it's just gonna be a matter of can they keep that Ornn safe and keep that Camille from snowballing up there and being able to roam.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think Camille actually, I'm not sure. I know Ornn does funny things with brittle procs early. So once Camille gets Sunder, I think then things get better for her up to a point. Rise is going to be the answer. Interesting. They are avoiding champs that have dashes because I think with Ornn's dash, he's unstoppable. Right?
He's unstoppable during his W. So, but the only thing is that his E can still be stopped by the Poppy. But his W is still fine. It looks like we're going to see the Thresh, like we mentioned. And immediately their response is looking like the Alistar. So we do get to see him on that Thresh with the Jinx, which is a very strong combo. And it goes very well together, especially late game. You get the lockdown. On the Thresh, you lock down this Camille, you lock down this Kai'Sa, you let Jinx get excited, and you just hope the Ornn can just frontline for her. And it looks like they will go with the Alistar in response to this Thresh. They will send the Swain mid. I know Chad was a little curious on where that Swain was going. So it looks like the Swain's going to go mid against the Rise. We have the Kai'Sa Alistar against this Jinx Thresh bot lane. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be feisty down there.
Yeah. I mean, my only criticism here for the side of Panther Core Highlanders draft, I think it's very straightforward. I think it scales extremely well, and I love its identity. R5, or B5, I guess, but still, 5th pick Thresh with Jackie Boy on the team feels like an R5 Renekton kind of angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's someone... I'm Enchilada. Okay, we have an Enchilada break for one of the players. And you know what?
I got the enchiladas in before a game. And before we continue, I would like to thank, I believe I'm saying this right, Enconitum Ferox? Enconitum Ferox?
Aconitum, I believe. Oh, huge. Sorry, I was not looking. Aconitum Ferox, thank you so much for being the latest investor in the low-budget LCS. You know what you're going to do. You're going to go to the Denny's in Vermont. It is the one outside of Burlington. There are only 2 Denny's in Vermont. It's not the one to the south. It's the one to the north. Go around back, knock on the door 3 times. Bop, bop, bop. Tell them you're a Conatum. Pancakes are on us. Those will be coming to you from Todd.
Can't miss out on those pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it looks like the enchilading is over, and it looks like the teams are going to get ready for their match. So we're just waiting for...
Just setting up the prediction right now.
Awesome. All right. So, I see Lesforce catching a stray bullet out here for Renekton. Lesforce, you looking for another Renekton game out here? You want to see the Renekton carry on the top side coming out?
Luffy gifted me a sub. Luffy, I was going to resubscribe with Prime, but I was waiting for the chance to do it. Alright, well, thank you very much, Luffy. Now, hopefully I can gift a sub to someone else. But thank you very much for being the latest reinvestor in the low-budget LCS. You know what you're going to do. You're going to go to the Denny's, Vermont, go out back, talk to our buddy Todd. Bacon is extra, and so is butter. The pancakes and the syrup, that's all free.
No butter.
You can have butter. It's like a nickel. But like we said, we need those nickels.
We do need those nickels. We need those nickels and dimes.
The stream is set up in a cardboard box behind the Denny's. And actually, so if you'll bear with me here, and actually I want to make it so you can you can see this. So, you tuned into my stream on Discord, you should be able to hear my stream deck.
Let me listen. Let me listen.
And just for fun, I wanted to take you all to a holy place. This is the player formerly known as PC Ruffian, then known as Naughty Ruffian, then known as C9 Eminence Kisser, and now known as Naughty Prince. This is him praying to the greatest League players of all time. Formerly reckless, who is now washed, he takes us to church at the altar of Prince, who unfortunately will not be going to the mid-season invitational. Will Naughty Prince follow in his footsteps and not make playoffs? Will he lose here to the Highlanders? Only time will tell. Okay. That was our moment at church for Mr. Ruffian.
That was beautiful.
Oh no. Man, hang on. We got Campusada gifting a tier 1 sub to Destrost Skeletor. Skeletor, I mean, coming straight out of the TV screen, you know what you're gonna do. Denny's, it's north, it's outside of Burlington. Talk to our buddy Todd. Pancakes are on us. Thank you very much for investing in the low budget LCS. Less Force also subscribing at tier 1.
Why go to
MSI? Yeah, go ahead.
Why go to MSI when you can just play in the LBLCS? I mean, what higher achievement can you have besides winning in the season for LBLCS? Sure, you can go to the regular LCS, you can go to North Carolina, you can go abroad, but why do all that travel? You gotta leave your pets behind, you gotta leave your family behind. LBLCS is right here in your home.
You gotta pay for that pet sitter. I got cats last year. And yeah, they're great. I got 2 little goobers, bonded pair. If you want to know the least, we went for the least adopted metric cats. Black cat, bonded pair. So one of them is a black cat, and they're both a bonded pair. Gorgeous kittens. Okay. Well, they weren't kittens; they were 3 years old when we got them, but they're great. Anyway, you gotta pay for them to be pet sit every time you leave your house for more than like a day, right?
You do. Or you gotta find a friend or a family friend they can watch out for them, and you gotta leave a whole list of like, this is what to feed them, this is what time they go to the bathroom, you're gonna get woken up with like 3 meows and a scratch at the door every morning if you don't get up at 8:35 and go directly to the door.
Holy shit. We have Boss Guy, aka Seraphine Guy 3, betting 150,000 schmeckles on the Naughty Narwhals. That's the biggest bet I've seen in a minute. That means if PC Highlanders pull this off, I mean, Sideclick for one, who is the captain of the Highlanders, will make out like a bandit. They will likely make over 100,000 schmeckles.
At this point, all the Smeckles, it seems, are going to the Naughty Narwhals here. But look at this comp. I mean, Naughty Narwhals are gonna have a tough time if it comes out to late game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Naughty Narwhals absolutely have to execute here, and they have to execute through a Jarvan. And that's hard. Jarvan is extremely strong. I mean, it just kind of took a buff to his W, but I think he's always just sort of been there. Flag and drag, being mostly reliant on those 2 skills for ganking mean that you get level 2 ganks. So I think it's going to be tough. I love what Panther Core have done here with their draft. But I do think that Naughty Narwhals have the tools to make it difficult.
It does look like
side click redeemed. This is more. All right, what's the take? What? That you want us to just say? Oh, actually, I hate what Panther Core have done with their draft here. It's no,
Panther Core. I mean, listen, like you've got no winning lanes. I mean, you have a Rise against a Swain. What's the Rise gonna do early game? Just poke at him. Swain gets an E on you. You're getting pulled in for the long count. Camille into Ornn. Camille's just gonna get on top. You get that shield, get that damage in, and just force you out of lane. It's Panther Core's gotta get some pressure in the bot lane to start this game off.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, in case you didn't catch it in the opening, I do just want to revisit, what is happening in this game, because so Naughty Prince, aka Ruffian, and Zebra were both formerly on Panther Core Ghosts with Thy Ducklord and PC Jackie Boy last season. Now, those four have split onto these two separate teams. All right, I'm in game. Let me know.
I'm in 3, 4,
5, 6, 7, 8. Good job, my friend. I will see you tomorrow.
I think I'm gonna be fast this time.
Yeah, it was quick. And so these people who were playing on an executive team just last season, 2 per team, are now going up against each other. So they have a lot of insight onto what they want to play. They have a lot of insight in terms of how they play. So it's going to be very interesting to see the interactions, particularly, I think, in this bot lane. But then also maybe potentially with some jungle top synergy. Now, Ducklord loves Ornn. Loves Ornn. Very good at it. So I'm excited to see that matchup. However, Tarded, another long-standing name in the low-budget LCS, has shown themselves to be strong in a versatile number of different champions.
Now it looks like Naughty Narwhals did go to protect their top side. They don't want to get the early invaded. They want to just protect that buff. They want to protect the top side of their map. Looks like Panther Core just going for the straight. We send everyone on the map. We make sure the whole map is clear. But now the only issue with this is that obviously Naughty Narwhals don't know if Panther Core is in their bot side jungle or not. So it looks like Kittens will have to kind of go through, put a ward down, try and protect that side of the map, and let Panther Core just control this bot side of the map for the early game here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get that ward out, it means you have one less ward potentially for lane, whereas Panther Core have 2. We do see Chibi Dragon now going for the Krugs here could mean that Chibi is going for a full clear, or it could mean that Chibi is going for a level 2 gank bot. You have both of those options up at Jarvan. If you go to the chickens there, it either means you're doing your accelerated 4 camp, or you're potentially doing a 3 camp and a bot gank. Before they made the most recent jungle experience changes, loved just 3 camp, do those bottom 3 camps, gank bot, recall, go topside.
For sure.
It was so strong.
Now, it does look like Dragon is going to go to his Raptors. It looks like he is positioning himself to look for the top side of the map. So it looks like he is going to go for a full clear here. So we're not going to see any early action in the bot lane. But Giga Chaz and Jackie Boy do have the pressure. They do have this push going into Prince here.
Yeah, absolutely. That bot lane getting pushed in means, they probably communicated in comms, made the call like, okay, we're pushing, don't come gank bot. We're just going to push them in, try and get level advantage. Maybe try and fight them. But I think that is dangerous, especially when you have this Poppy coming down. Someone in the chat, if you could let me know, how does Poppy's W interact with Thresh Lantern? Or maybe Full Metal.
The hook still lands and you will get flowed, but or rooted for that matter. But if Thresh tries to take his lantern in, he will get stopped. It does count as movement, so he can't enter in close enough to really land a flay.
Got it. Okay. So I mean, I think that probably works the same with like pulling Jinx out with lantern, right? If you're trying to do a sneaky play where Jinx is going for a plate, and then you're gonna have Thresh Lantern her away.
If Poppy is there, Poppy will stop that lantern take. If you try and take it, you start to move, immediately stops.
But we do see Ducklord moving with Chibi Dragon here on the mid lane here. A root going down, Little getting pulled in, but they're going to be okay with that. Ducklord throwing All right. Boss guy just gonna respect Flash.
Yeah. They force a Flash. Poppy is there. Oh.
Chibi Dragon going over the wall is going to find the knockup on a Boss Guy 3, but not going to have enough lethal damage. Chibi Dragon flashed away from the Zebra charge. Didn't quite take him into turret tower range, so good there on Zebra to be able to get that summoner advantage in the jungle.
Yeah, gets a flash out. I mean, honestly, I think Chibi Dragon had to, because if Chibi Dragon didn't flash out there, you know, Nori Narwhal's botlane was moving up in that river. They were going to be there if that fight went any longer. So, sucks, you got the flash out. You weren't able to get the kill, but got on our side to force these summoners out early, and it's gonna get them ready for the dragon that's gonna be happening in less than a minute from now.
Yeah, and really proactive play there also from thy Ducklord on this Ornn, traditionally more thought of as a scaling pick, but saying, you know what, if I'm moving with Jarvaners, hang on, Flag and Drag finds both members of the Knot lane. Naughty Prince potentially going to be in trouble, forced to flash over the Chompers, but the W is going to land, and that is going to be first blood going over to Giga Chaz. Now Naughty Kitten going to be the next one targeted up, and the cow gets milked, and they're going to get a double kill for their bot lane.
You have this Jinx Thresh, just pressure over pressure over pressure in this bot lane. You get the Jarvan in there, and I mean, you just can't get away from it. You can flash all you want, but the Jarvan's just going to knock you back up, the Thresh is going to flay you, and it's exactly what we see happening.
Yeah.
It does look like we do have some skirmishing top lane. I don't think we're going to get a kill out of this, but I think it is good for them to get pressure into this Ornn.
Yeah, and normally top lane is what I like to call a wet noodle fight, where you just kind of have two tanks just bunk, bunk. It doesn't really do anything, right? This top lane, it's a little more of a solid noodle fight. You know, those brittle procs along with the empowered Camille Qs are going to start doing a significant amount of damage.
Yeah. And it looks like Tarded will opt to teleport back to top lane, hoping to keep Ducklord up there as long as he can. Or at least force him to back and use TP as well. So we do have the dragon coming up now. We know that this Jinx now has this gold and now has these items. You know, went back, got the Noon Quiver, got the boots. So right now, Panther Core is in a really good position to try and use this lead bot lane to try and get more pressure and get this early Drake.
Yeah, Tarded's gonna go in there. This is now scary for Ducklord. Tarded has the Hextech Ultimatum, which they can use to potentially to reset tower aggro. If they are looking to dive him here, Ducklord using that Ornn passive, though, is going to get that Aegis of the Legion. I believe that's what that item is called.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh, looks like we have Kittens going in, trying to catch out this Thresh.
Oh, big stun into the wall, and they're going to pick that one up. So Naughty Prince getting a kill of his own, looking hopefully to match the income on the side.
Oh, Chibi Dragon trying to take out Tarded. Tarded uses everything to take out Ducklord. Tarded holding his own, trying to just get his grass procs up. Chibi unable to get a kill, and with that kill bot lane, even though they were not able to take out the Jinx, taking out the Thresh, seeing the Jarvan top lane does mean that Naughty Narwhals will take the first Drake.
Yeah. Absolutely, they're just going to go ahead and snag that one up. Should be pretty free with Chibi Dragon going to assist Ducklord in the top lane there. When did Ducklord die?
So Ducklord died in a 1v1 Tarded, same exact timing as the bot lane skirmish. Tarded just took advantage of Ducklord not
found there on the Naughty Kitten, and Little's going to be looking to put down the damage. Ignite goes down, but Zebra is going to discourage any kind of further play using that W to prevent Jackie Boy from being able to finish the hook and scaring Little out. Meanwhile, Chibi Dragon going in, ult not available, so Zebra just going to flash away. Little pulled forward. Not too much else going to come from that.
That is going to be a lot of ults used there, at least, you know, from this Ornn. So that's going to leave Panther Core a little weak coming into this Rift fight. I am curious if Naughty Narwhals are going to look for a fight here for this Rift. Looks like Zebra is going to go in, try and get some damage out of Chibi Dragon
going
here.
Aggressive, but Cataclysm is available, and now Little is here. Tarded just going to be able to help pick that one up on the back end, and now Little is going to have to run away there. But with neither jungler alive, you have to imagine they don't want to start this Rift Herald.
Not at all. But this does give Ducklord a little bit of pressure of top lane. You know, bot lane, Giga Chaz looking to just kind of get control of their bot jungle, make sure they're secure, make sure they're not going to get ganked again from the Poppy on this reset here. But with the junglers coming back alive, you know, the Poppy opting to go to the top side and Jarvan looking to go bot side, I'm curious if Naughty Narwhals are going to go for a Rift and Panther Core opt to look for a fight and get this Jinx snowballing.
Yeah, I mean, Jinx has a lot of item, Noonquiver Pickaxe to Noonquiver Dagger, so it is just going to be, you know, that little bit of extra damage here available, but I think it will be crucial in fights. And it's hard exactly to say what's going to happen. You do see Target trading onto Ducklord here, but it is being a little bit more of that noodle fight now. Although, you know, Target getting close to that Sunder, once it does have that Sunder, it becomes much harder for Ducklord to play the game.
And Tarded opted out for the Sheen here, trying to get a little bit of extra damage into Ducklord here. Is able to get the grass procs off and able to just kind of poke him out, try and get control, while Zebra does opt to get some control and some damage onto this Rift Herald. Looks like they're going to start it off here. They're going to try and get it, knowing that they have this pressure topside with this 2-0 Camille, and saying, hey, listen, we can get this, and if Panther Core wants to come after us, we can turn and fight.
Yeah, and J4 nowhere near on the map, so that pressure is likely just going to be a good conversion. Going to go down right there. Going to go into Zebra's pocket. Have to see where that ends. Ooh! I do love seeing Rise EQ. I know it's such a meme, but it's so nice.
Such a satisfying just combo, you know, even especially when the E goes on a dying minion, so the E just immediately goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very nice. I want to see Panther Core, since this is like, you know, this is competitive play, this is fives, and these teams, I mean, both of them have had great team play in the past. I want to see them get real creative with Rise ult. Like, port the whole team behind Narwhals while they're doing Dragon or something. Or you know, pretend like you're going to go Dragon, and then port everyone over to Baron. That would be fun.
It's always interesting to see the different plays that they can make with the Rise, because you can bring your teammates, you can bring an entire wave, you can bring whatever you want with you. It's just a matter of timing it, not only with where you're going, but with what you're bringing with you. So it does look right now that Jinx does get the Kraken going back into lane, having this item advantage over this bot lane. I'm curious what's going to happen. And we do have Chibi Dragon just chilling out, waiting for the community, waiting for Tartar to get a little bit aggro. It looks like Camille's going to respect it.
Do you know how much it costs after Noonquiver to get Kraken? Or I guess it might not be Kraken, but generally the mythic costs. Because Ruffian has Noonquiver Dagger, and they have 1375 in their pocket.
So let's see. So if they get, I think it's just another wave of these minions, they will have enough. Now it's a matter of, will Panther Core let them get this minion wave and get this back off? Because yeah, if Prince gets this whole wave here, including this cannon, especially if the Alistar gets the charge off, he will have enough. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of, can he safely get back for it and get this buy without giving too many resources over to Panther Core.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragon is up, so they're going to look to do that. However, the Narwhals have responded. Ducklord going to go in, going to find a Brittle Proc. The boss guy going to pop the ultimate. Flag and Dragon to go through. Naughty Prince going to be able to just use that ultimate to get outside of the Cataclysm. Naughty Kitten going to be in trouble. Now Ducklord going to be in trouble in the mid lane. Zebra going back in, helping move him around. Just going to be able to get a little bit of damage off the back end. Naughty Kitten running away. Tastes the flag. Surely they're going to taste defeat. There's the drag. Zapper not quite going to find it. They're buying a lot of time here on this cow, but little coming down to the back end. Another flag soon available. Not quite going to do the damage, but the drag there will finish off the job. Wolf says, with a Prime subscription, thank you very much. You're going to go to the Denny's in Vermont, the one to the north. Full Metal is a true green tea shot enjoyer. Hashtag never forget.
You will never forget. The green tea shot is beautiful, especially North Carolina. You can't argue. Those shots really hits the spot. That was a beautiful, you know, two fights happening, one in mid lane, one in bot lane. It does give Panther Core the ability to get this dragon and kind of equalize it. Now this is what Panther Core wants. Panther Core wants it to go to a long game, so equalizing the dragons here and getting an early lead onto this Jinx really helps them set themselves up for the late game.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly, I think, off of that back pressure. They knew they need to make something happen in bot lane because they had the item differential. They pulled Jarvan down there. They're able to get a kill, and Naughty Prince not able to reset and get the full mythic, opting to go for Boots Pickaxe, although that might be some Kaisa thing that I'm not aware of where you're trying to get your evolves faster, right? So Zebra using the Herald mid just wasn't able to create quite enough pressure with everything that Panther Core going on to be able to help them secure that trick.
So if you are able to get tier 2 boots, usually no matter who you're going, even with Kaiser, you're not able to get the upgrade with just the boots, but it does give you a bit more pressure to start getting your stacks off. Because even if you go Gale Force, you really don't get the amount of attack speed that you will get just from just getting your boots. Plus, it gives you more leeway into saying, well, I don't need to go Gale Force yet, I don't need to go Kraken yet.
Going to go in under the tower, going to use the hook shot, is going to be able to find it, uses the Hextech Ultimatum to cancel a turret shot, and they are out of there! Finding a solo kill for the third, they've got the Sunder, and that is Camille's comfort spot. Also, Sammy 2-slap. Okay, here's the deal. I have a plan for the count surgery, but it's not going to happen yet. So you're just going to have to bear with me. The count is staying in for now. Sorry, Sammy 2-slap, surgeon of the low-budget LCS, wants to cut the count out of me. I don't want to let him, because I think the count is a valued member of this broadcast, and I don't think the count would show up here of his own volition. So, you know, I have to drag him.
It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, like you were saying, Tartar is in a beautiful spot on his Camille. You know, he's got the 3 kills. He's got this lead over this Ornn. He's got the damage with Divine Thunder. Now it's just a matter of, can this Camille, you know, pressure this top turret, get first turret, and start moving around the map. Because right now, you know, Narwhal's biggest problem is this Jinx. The Jinx has tier 2 boots, has the Kraken, and is ready to start carrying through this Alistar or this Poppy. So Camille's going to have to be the one to get onto this Jinx and shut her down.
Yeah, we do see Ducklord lying in wait here, but Boss Guy will just be receiving this wait. Not too much can happen. Ooh, but both junglers are going to be available.
We do have Rift coming up, and we do have Panther Core's jungler. You know, we have GB Dragon up on this, you know, in this mid lane, having more pressure for the top side for this Rift. Will they opt to do it, or will they look for a fight around this Ornn?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Ornn Horn, Call of the Forge God, not quite available here. Unleash Teleport also not available, so you do have a wave that is just pushing in top lane here that, you know, might just end up crashing and Ducklord not being able to receive it, although it does look they are going to go back there to pick up that wave, so likely that's going to be fine. And Zebra going to be on the bottom side of the map, so neither team opting to start up the Herald just yet.
We do see them sending Prince over to the top side. It looks like he's opting to go a little bit towards mid now, but they're starting to ping and they're starting to say, hey, listen, if they're going to let us come back and take this pressure, we should pressure for this Rift.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Kids unable to land the W.
4 members running there, as it looks like Little is forced to recall, so it seems like the Narwhals are looking for it. Oh, but W going to be used to prevent Jackie Boy from going anywhere. Zebra going forward. Tons of damage going down. Heal going to be burned, as is Flash there. For Jack that does have the Hex Flash. Zebra going into the wall, but so much damage. There goes the Cataclysm. Zebra desperately trying to stay alive. Naughty Kitten in the middle of the team. Now Boss Guy trying to make it in. Naughty Prince able to find a snipe on the back end. Chibi Dragon stunned up underneath the turret. Can Tardy find it? They fail by reset and they flash out with a Hextech Ultimatum. Ducklord now going to be the next on the list to break Death Rocket. Not quite able to find Naughty Kitten, but on the back end, Little is able to pick it up. Boss Guy is still in the ultimate. It now finally falls. Chaz does a lot in that fight, but Naughty Narwhals come out just slightly ahead.
I mean, you have the first call onto Jackie Boy. You find the Thresh. You force his flash out. Chibi able to recognize, hey, we can go on Poppy here. We can take this Poppy down. This will stop them from being able to get this Rift. You know, Naughty Narwhals saying, hey, listen, we're not just letting you take this for free. Tarded beautifully going in, confirming the kill onto the Jarvan, making sure that they're also able to get the Rift, getting out safely. I mean, it's one of those things where, as Naughty Narwhals, you need to just confirm these kills.
Pick here, root into hook, going in, no Poppy to safety this time, but a good flash from Boss Guy means that ignite from Jackie Boy is just going to be wasted here.
And this will give Naughty the pressure. They do get the dragon, so now they are saying, you know, we will force you to make fights, but we will get the objectives. We will get the mid game that we need to power over this Ornn. Because right now this Ornn is kind of out of the fight. He's got Radiant Virtue, but this Camille can just run him down. You know, the Camille's got the Divine Thunder, the Camille's got this Tiamat. This Camille is ready to split push and ready to take down whoever's going to challenge her.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons and tons of money here on the side of Tarded. Just do want to take a look at the gold here. 3,000 over Ducklord there. Jackie Boy not going to opt to take that hook. We've got, however, 1,000 gold lead in favor of the Narwhals in the jungle, which is, I think, a chunk of where their lead is. Well, I mean, most of their lead is untarded. And then about 1,000-ish for Gigachaz on that Jinx in the bot lane is going to be where it is sort of recompensed. Pretty even other than that, I would say. And the thing about Ornn, when you look at gold difference like that, I think we're just getting there. Level 11 is where Ornn gets his first ornament, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
he gets, I believe it's level 13 is he gets his first for his team.
Okay.
Because it's 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah.
So you get a lot of extra gold value by just being Ornn, right? However, that being said,
you have to make it to late game for it, though.
Yeah, with the state of the game, I think there definitely still is potential for Narwhals to accelerate and steamroll. However, with the number of scaling champions, Ryze having that Roa that's stacking up, I am concerned about if this game stagnates too long, if they're not making more of these proactive plays, what is happening to the Narwhals lead as these champions for Panther Core just sort of naturally go up.
Well, looks like they will look for Ducklord, though, forcing the ultimate out. Gives him that extra, gives him the, the buff from Radiant Virtue to make him tanky enough to get out of there alive. And just looking at chat, Sammy 2Slap saying 13 is his and 14 is the first for his team.
Okay, so I was completely wrong. Very on brand.
I was half right, half wrong.
You're more right than me.
I had the number right, but so it looks like Panther Core, they're starting to lose a little bit of pressure in their jungle, which is gonna make it hard for Dragon to really farm up and keep up with this Poppy. Mm-hmm. Right now for Panther Core, they're saying, listen, we have a Fed Jinx, we have this Ryze who's got 9 stacks on his Roa, and has some gold to his name. We just need to protect this Jinx, protect this Ryze, and let Jinx get excited. Because the second Jinx gets excited in these team fights, she is going to start just hammering down on these these tanks.
Yeah. We do see Chibi Dragon hiding here, but Naughty Kitten also hiding, as is Zebra. So everyone's just trying to catch each other in a little bush cheese, but now they're going to flag and drag forward. Little is going to be able to find a route, but here comes Zebra. They're going to be able to do some passive. Ultimate proc for Naughty Kitten. Cataclysm going to go down, but it's not going to matter as Prince is going to dive in. Naughty Kitten forced to flash away, and Tarded is just solo killing Jackie Boy on the back end. That hook is very good on Naughty Prince, but it will not save you in time. Gigachaz running away underneath the turret. Boss Guy looking to do the damage now. Tarded going in is going to fall. Boss Guy 3, but Little left alone underneath his turret, and the Naughty Narwhals push their pedal to the floor.
Naughty Narwhals doing an excellent job of just, letting Panther Core start the fight and just re-engaging and picking off these carries, picking off the Jinx, taking down the Jarvan, taking down the Thresh that's going to hold your team away, and this just allows Naughty Narwhals to accelerate their lead and get this Baron.
Yeah.
So these fights are right now it's really geared around Naughty Narwhal's ability to just re-engage. Panther Core is looking for these picks, looking to try and make these fights happen, and Narwhal's just like, no, you can't do this. You can't just try and pick off our Alistar here. We have backup and we're ready to use it. And what that's going to do is that is going to give Narwhals a huge lead onto the Kaisa, who now has an Avoid Quick Blades, has the Kraken Slayer. We have this Camille, like I said, finishing up this this item. I believe it's going to go into Ravenous Hydra, it's looking like, with this, looks like they have, yep, it is going to be the Ravenous Hydra, confirmed for the Camille. And we have the 2 items Camille, the 2 items Kaisa. Right now, Panther Core just needs to hold. They need to look for a fight where Naughty Narwhals are looking too aggressive on them. Because right now, Panther Core is falling off when they're trying to engage, but they don't have enough control of the area and enough vision in the area to see where this Camille is.
Yeah, it is going to be tough to track that flank with the raw amount of power coming out here. However, is going to have to stack up that Hydra. And yeah, we are about to see a pretty great dragon fight, I have to imagine. Unless, you know, if you're Panther Core here, I think there is a world where you just say, okay, we're just going to wait for our Ornn items. You know, we're just going to chill.
Yeah.
We're just going to
Right now, though, it looks like Panther Core is opting to stay mid, but they do have this Camille split pushing on them, so they will have to send their Rise over to try and stop this push here, which will eventually give this dragon over to Narwhals.
Yeah. So Narwhals just going to choose to take that one up, although it will be in vision as Chibi Dragon has that Demacian standard chilling out in the pit. Ooh! From down! Giga Chaz uses the buffed Jinx Rocket to snipe away that. I thought that was typical jungler, you know, you just want to look, you want to maybe seem for a steal, but it was actually setting up Chaz for the perfect timing on the Super Mega Death Rocket, helping them stall this game out immensely and preventing Soul Point. As Ornhorn now going to come down here, going to try and save Chibi Dragon. Chibi Dragon going to be able to flag and drag over the wall. Will Die Ducklord be able to get out? Boss Guy doing a ton of damage, but Naughty Prince is looking to murder his former teammate in cold blood.
Beautiful ult by Giga Chaz there. You know, like you said, is going to stall out this game, making sure that Narwhals are not able to get enough dragons. And right now, Narwhals looking to, you know, keep control of the jungle. They have Tarded up in top lane, just bullying this Rise while taking this turret. I mean, right now, like you said, the Panther Core just needs to hold, and they need to just defend and take as many objectives as they can without giving too much away. You know, like they had to give away the Ornn there, but they were able to get the dragon. They were to stall out this game and not give Narwhals this this dragon soul point. You know, you don't want to put them on soul point, especially on this Cloud Dragon, because once they get this Cloud Dragon onto this Poppy, onto this Camille, they're gonna be way too fast to try and pick off, especially if they're disengaging.
Yeah, 100%. Cloud, Drake, for honestly either of these teams would be pretty terrifying. I was looking at Little's damage there into Tarded, and it's getting to the point where if you let Rise have a couple good rotations of EQ, 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 you're going to be taking some pretty significant amount of damage. Has that Roa, has the Archangels fully upgraded, so also has some additional shielding, some additional tankiness that might not be expected.
And it looks like Tarded feels the same way as you do, because Tarded does opt to immediately go for the Hex Shrinker, saying, this Rise is my biggest issue on split pushing. I need to defend against this.
Yeah, Little obviously Rise, great wave clear as well. So you're going to love being in the side lane, and you have that ultimate along with Unleash Teleport being available, so you have multiple ways to roam to a fight.
Right now, looks like Narwhals are going to try and pick off this Jarvan, who's just trying to clear up his jungle, just trying to, get some control. But Narwhals saying, no, we control your jungle. This is our jungle now.
Yeah, really great movement with Naughty Kitten and Zebra there in the jungle.
They just want to deny as much fish as they can. They're like, all right, we let them, they got this on the last dragon. Let's not let that happen again. Let's control their bottom jungle. Let's control their top jungle. And let's just control this map.
Yeah.
We've got them pushing. No, looks like they're going to try and catch out Kittens here. Yeah, but he does have backup close by.
Gonna take a pretty good chunk of damage, but ultimately not going to be lethal there, as Alistar has been receiving buff after buff after buff after buff. He is one tanky cow right now.
Like we mentioned, though, we do have to watch this Ornn, because Ornn is now on level 13, did just upgrade his Radiant Virtue, and he's about to get level 14, which will give him the ability to upgrade some of these items for his teammates. Right now, I'm looking at upgrading this Jinx. I'm saying we need to get this Kraken Slayer online and really get these tanks away and get these tanks down.
What do you think Jinx's next item is going to be? Phantom Dancer? So that additional mobility to get them away from Tarded, get them away from Zebra, get them away from Kitten, let them kite, let them move? Or do you think it's going to be some other Zeal item?
Tough to say. It's probably going to be the Phantom Dancer. With the Ornn upgrade coming through for Kraken, you don't need to opt for an LDR or a tank shred. So going something more with a utility for this attack speed and this movement speed, the Phantom Dancer is an excellent option for this Jinx going into the later fights for this match. Because Jinx just needs to stay away from this.
Top tier Boss Guy gonna ult, and Little just gonna use the Rise ult to dip on out of there. KP safe bot. That is a big AoE ultimate now not available to fight. Unleash Teleport available for both mid laners here, however. Zebra is going to look to find the jungler into a wall, and there's so much damage on a Chibi Dragon. Chibi Dragon able to stay alive as now Hextech Ultimatum goes down into Jackie Boy, but it will be canceled as now Target is looking to do the damage. However, they are grouped up. Kaisa goes into the whole team. Flag and drag. Cataclysm going to knock everyone up, but Naughty Prince bought a Zanya's. They're going to go. They're going to cleanse, but they're still taking so much damage. Little dropping bombs goes golden by themselves, but again, Little will be left alone. A triple kill for Tarded, and they are looking to end or Baron, they're not sure.
It looks like they're going to look to end here. They're putting their team in the mid lane, although they will send the jungle and the mid lane over to this Baron. They're starting to send the Naughty Prince there as well. Yeah, it looks like they're going to split, though. They're going to have Tarded go alone on this dragon, try and get both objectives at once here. And what, so in that fight, I think the beautiful thing to look at there was Boss Guy just looking for and holding his E on Swain until he could find Giga Chaz. Because the second you're able to lock down this Jinx, lock down this Rise, that's the second that Tarded is able to get in there and start bursting these champs down.
Yeah, I mean, it felt really close. I know it ended up being like 4 for 1, right? Or 5 for 1. But the flag and drag Cataclysm that hit almost the whole team combined with Little's damage really looked troublesome there for a little bit, and I think is potentially a sign of things to come, as Cloud Soul still not quite picked up. They do have this Baron power play. They do have a 10,000 gold lead. I'm not saying Panther Corps are in the best position. However, I do see signs of hope for their composition.
I mean, like we said, these Ornn items are starting to go online. The Jinx has the upgraded Kraken into the, I cannot say this name for life, Wormfall and Sacrifice.
Okay, hang on, Ducklord getting gone on here. Going to be bonked in one direction and then the other. Naughty Prince going to be able to pick that one up.
Naughty Narwhals was just saying, listen, we have this Baron buff, we have the control over this bot lane, over this map in general. We will push what we can and we will take what you give us.
Ah, so we have the answer, which I don't know why I didn't realize it was this, mainly because I don't play ADC. It is a Runon's Hurricane to let the Jinx do that AoE team fight damage that has been picked up here for Giga Chaz.
Looks like Giga Chaz wanting to say, I'm having trouble getting past these tanks to do damage to really anyone else but this Alistar. The Runon's Hurricane will let me start to do some more on hit towards the rest of the team.
And they are just going to delete Chibi Dragon there underneath the turret. So much damage here coming out from those plasma procs on Naughty Prince. It is difficult to see how this holds. Okay, we're gonna find a hook. Not gonna go in.
They need to wait, they need to hold and let Giga Chaz find a kill, get excited, but for now they just need to protect. They don't want to go too aggro. They know what happens if they go all in. They know that this Boss Guy can
back. Now Boss Guy gonna go in, gonna be sucking him up quite a bit. Sorry, whoa. Jackie Boy is gonna fall. Chaz gonna be found out underneath the turret now as well. Naughty Kitten gonna take a turret shot or two as they juggle the aggro over to Zebra. Little gonna go golden underneath the turret. But that is going to be a triple kill there for Naughty Prince. Chibi Dragon going to respawn, but the W is available from Poppy, and you can't even get back onto the platform. Quadra kill for Naughty Prince as he takes us to church.
I mean, beautiful plays by this Naughty Narwhals team. They have the heavy top side. They say, listen, yes, Jinx has a lead. Yes, Rise has a lead. But we can use this Camille and use this Swain to start these fights and get these picks onto these carries. Looks like that will end it for game 1 here. Looking at the stats, I mean, this damage coming out from this Camille, from this Kaisa, from this Swain, they're saying, listen, like, we will go for your tanks, we will go for your carries, we will go for your Thresh, and we will take them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chad is not happy with your language.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you get a tongue slip. It happens,
You were just really upset about that those Swain hits on those E's, like you're like you just felt the anger for Giga Chaz. You're like, why every time I want to do something I just get locked in place.
Listen, we keep it PG-13 here, right? So we're allowed a little cursing as a treat. But yeah, looking at the damage graphs, I find a couple things are surprising. So you did actually have Little on the rise, out damaging Chaz on the Jinx there in the end. But also what surprised me was Ornn did a pretty significant amount of damage in that game. So just, I don't know.
It's tough to say whether like what it's from. He did have a Bammy Cinder towards the end of that match, but I imagine it's just the constant just the burning from W and just the constant Qs in lane to try and hurt this Camille.
Yeah.
Late
sure.
game Ornn isn't unless Ornn is running like a Sunfire, Ornn isn't pumping out too much damage. A lot of the damage coming from Ornn is gonna be in those early game skirmishes.
100%.
So going into game 2 here, what does Panther Core need to change to really shut down the momentum coming out of Naughty Narwhals?
I mean, I think one thing you might consider is if you want blue side again, which we'll have to see if they're going to take first pick or counter pick, you could swap out one of your bans for the Poppy ban. You banned Kayn, Seraphine, Wukong first rotation. I'd say switch out the Kayn ban, but I know a lot of people hate playing against Kayn. So, take that with what you will. But that way there's, less concern for Jarvan. We saw the Poppy W come up a number of times in that play. But I think overall, maybe you want to go with a slightly more aggressive composition. Get something that has a little more agency perhaps in top, a little more agency in mid, something that can stand up maybe on its own a little bit more towards the Camille, so you can use more of those resources bot side and not be as concerned about falling behind in the top lane.
For sure. I think, just pick order, I think the early Jarvan was great. I think the early Jinx was great. I think just showing Ornn a little bit too soon without really knowing what you're up against and letting them counterpick you does put you behind. And it does mean that you really need to let your mid laner counterpick, or at least get some sort of agency in that mid lane to give Jarvan another lane that they can push for early leads, with the early Jarvan ganks. Alright, it does look like we will be getting the lobby started here. Oh, looks like I will be playing for the Panther Core as I cannot spectate. There we go. So we saw the Smeckles going for the Naughty Narwhals with the huge amount of Smeckle bets going on their side. I'm curious to say, what does the Smeckles look like for second game? Are we going to see huge bets coming in from Panther Core to try and be like, hey, listen, you're not the only one with these pockets here. You're not the only ones with this huge amount of Smeckles laying around. We've been collecting. We are ready to use them. So we will have, this beautiful series coming into game 2 here. We've got the Narwhals looking to, shut the Panther Cores down. They have their old teammates. They have their old players. And they're saying, hey, listen, we may have moved, but we still got game. We still have this power.
Yeah. So it does look like Panther Core have opted to go for red side this game. So they're opting to take counter pick over taking first pick here. So it'll be interesting to see what their answer is there. Did you have Horns versus Claws in the draft? Is there any prize for winning the seasons? The prize you get for winning a season of the low budget LCS, you get a unique Discord role that says season whatever season it is, plus whatever league you were in, champion. And that, to me, is worth billions of schmeckles.
It's not worth billions of schmeckles. It's worth millions of Dogecoin as well. These people want these roles. They want these emblems on their Discord accounts. This isn't just child's play here. So it looks like we will have a draft coming up. They're asking, is stream ready? Do you have the draft ready on your end?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Looks like PC Marshmallow saying they do you get bragging rights and they have many seasons and 0 bragging rights. So maybe PC Marshmallow will be looking for some bragging rights this season.
Yeah, could be. Bragging rights are the best part of it, to be honest. It hurts me inside because I have a financial title, which is the league that we're watching right now, but I have no executive league title, and I've played 1 season in financial, and then I've played a bunch of seasons in executive. But that's just how it goes, and you know what? It honestly is my favorite way to play League of Legends. It's such a good time. So,
all right. I will let them know the stream is ready.
Stream is ready, as it does look like they are going through pick ban. No, they're not. I lied. Don't worry about it.
They've just started, it looks like. It is now a game of the Horns versus the Claws.
Yes. We have Horns v Claws here. Coming out. Actually, hang on. This is a good time. I can read some of the alternate title suggestions for this match. The one we sort of wanted to go with in general was Rebels versus Empire, due to the fracturing of the team and then splitting apart. But what was also suggested was Land versus Sea, Jungle Cats versus Ocean Unicorns. Also Financial Fight Night. And then perhaps on a more spicy note, the Virgin Former PC Ghosts versus the Chad Other Ones. And then the last one was Ruffian versus his 7 evil ex-boyfriends. And a good old Scott Pilgrim reference.
Scott Pilgrim, beautiful. Haven't read that season while. It looks like they will opt for the early Xayah pick on the side of Narwhals. They're saying, listen, you banned it out from this last game, but we are taking it this game.
Yeah, and a little bit different on the ban table. We do see Vladimir being consistent. We see Muma being consistent, but Vi going to be taken away here from Panther Core. But yeah, no ban changes on PC. The Xayah will just be picked up right away by the Narwhals. Rakan's stolen, however.
So they don't want to let, they show the Xayah and they're like, listen, we've only have the Rakan, but now I was curious as to what Panther Core will run with this Rakan. Will they go for something like the Kaisa? Will they go for a Jinx again? Or will they switch it up and try and go for something a little bit more aggressive in the early game?
Yeah, it will be interesting. Lee Sin going to be hovered here and picked up for Cheapy Dragon here on Panther Core. That is also a pick away from Zebra. It's a pretty formidable Lee Sin in and of themselves, but this is a pocket pick of Zebra's. The Ivern going to be hovered here.
Well, Ivern does help a little bit with Xayah. It does give Xayah a little bit, of security in the bushes. Let Xayah kind of, start stacking up the feathers. Looks like they will change the last pick and they will go with the Swain.
Never get baited by the hover. They are going to hover the Ivern again, though. I do know, just because I know Zebra a fair bit, they have gotten coaching from the rank 1 Ivern on the server. Jamaican Me Banana. Which, by the way, great name.
It looks like they hover the Ivern yet again, only to pick the Poppy. Trying to counter this Rakan and counter this Lee Sin. They know it worked last game against the Jarvan. They're saying, hey, listen, we can do it against Lee Sin as well.
Yeah, I'm just informing them that they're baiting me into talking about Ivern, and that's very rude of them. In the chat, we got Jamaican Bacon Boy coming in with a great name for Jamaican Meat Banana. Hell yeah, gamer. Welcome to Little Budget LCS. We do see the Victor that was previously banned out in the second rotation is going to be picked up in the first rotation. So AD carry still going to be held here for the Panther Core.
So we have some scaling let through. We know last game they both sides said no scaling allowed in the mid lane. This time Panther Core is able to sneak away this Victor, but it does say we're not sure what we wanted to do with our ADC yet. We prefer to have the Victor into this lane, not let that get banned out. But this does allow Naughty Narwhals to ban out some of these aggressive ADCs that match well with this Rakan.
Yeah, and I think the Victor here is a little bit better of a pick, perhaps, into the Swain than the Rise. The Rise, maybe not in the best states meta-wise right now. Victor going to love to do a lot of percent HP damage, which Swain is obviously going to have quite a bit of. So it will be interesting to see. We are going to see ADC bans coming out here from Naughty Narwhals, unsurprisingly.
So we see the Jinx coming out. I imagine it's going to be another ADC, maybe something like Sivir, like they're showing, or Twitch. It looks like they instantly lock Sivir. They're saying nope, no aggressive ADCs allowed.
Yeah, no aggressive ADCs allowed. Banning out the Jax here from Target as well. I think after the showing on the Camille, was Jax banned last game too? I bet it was. It was not.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, I like it. Jax and Camille share very similar identities, and that certainly could be scary, particularly if you have an idea. Vayne, going to be, however, will be selected here for Panthecore. Now, I don't think Ducklord is a Vayne player. However, I wouldn't be a good caster if I didn't throw out the possibility of Vayne top.
It would be interesting to see. Now, is it something that you'd want to do blindly? Maybe not, but it does put pressure onto them to not pick a tank in the top lane. And it looks like they will just opt. Oh, it looks like they're going to go the Darius. So Vayne isn't a terrible matchup. Vayne can keep the Darius away from trying to land, the E and try and run in, especially with like a ghost flash. It does kind of help keep the Darius at bay here. So it could be a Vayne top.
Yeah.
It does look like they will opt to run the Nautilus alongside with the Xayah, giving, helping Xayah have a little more peel and a little bit of an engage along with it.
Yeah. I also like the Nautilus pick into the Vayne because you have that point and click ultimate. So even if Vayne is doing her tumble and shit where she's going everywhere and being invisible, you can't dodge depth charge. You just can't. So you're going to be able to find some C. You're going to be able to help get that lockdown. Maybe prepare her for Poppy to come in, prevent more of that tumbling. And we do see Malphite will be picked up, so I'm betting that is not going to be Vayne top. However, if we see Rakan Malphite bot, or Rakan Lee Sin bot Malphite jungle, I would be very excited.
The only thing I'd be flabbergasted on is if we saw the Rakan going jungle. Other than that,
I don't know. Victor jungle would be pretty out there.
I think it's been done before. I think Victor jungle was a thing, but I don't think Rakan mid was a thing. And Rakan mid, I don't know if it really can still be played this patch. Going full AP Rakan. So I think for security, I think the Malphite will most likely go top. The Victor mid, the Vayne Rakan bot lane with the Lee Sin in the jungle. It'll be interesting because you have this Vayne dash, the Vayne hops. You have the Lee Sin, you have this Rakan, and then you have this Poppy on their side. How do you move if you let the Poppy get into your team?
It's hard. It's very hard for the team. The only person that is going to be generally okay with it is going to be Victor. Even Malphite will, be like, well, what if I want to ult? Actually, Malphite's unstoppable during ult, right?
Malphite, yes. So Malphite's unstoppable. So Malphite won't be stopped by Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably the only movement you have on the side of Panthecore that the Poppy cannot do anything about. I think it's so tough because you just have so many bruisers and tanks on the side of Panthecore. It really only gives this Malphite one chance to look at, and it's going to be the Xayah.
Yeah. It's certainly going to be interesting here to see what happens in this game too. Poppy being Zebra's weapon of choice.
I think Vayne goes extremely well, especially seeing the Darius, the Nautilus, the Poppy, the Swain. If the Vayne can get online, the Vayne will just shred these tanks. It's just going to be a matter of, can you protect this Vayne, if the Swain is able to start getting in like he did last game, if the Poppy is able to get in and start denying a lot of this movement, and especially if this Darius starts getting his passive up and starts getting getting in line towards this Lisa and towards this Victor, and just start shredding them. So it's going to be interesting to see how Panther Core can deal with the amount of like engaged pressure that this Naughty Narwhal squad has on their squad. It's going to be an interesting match. I do believe we will hop into game soon here. No word on my side. And before I forget, I do have to wish. I can never say your Twitch name, Pixie Cena. A happy birthday, as it is their birthday. So happy birthday to them, and hopefully we'll have a banger of a series to celebrate.
Yeah. Here is hoping. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for hanging out with us here at the Low Budget LCS for your birthday. We appreciate it. I hope that our low budget performance is up to par for birthday entertainment. We do have a slight delay.
Might be more enchilada business.
Yeah, there might be another enchilada gap. I don't know. Do we want to go back to church and talk about the ADC matchup?
We always can. I mean, last game we saw GigaChaz had an extremely well early game, but Naughty Prince was able to just make the late game work and begin to make these plays happen.
Yeah. Actually, I wish if I had more things prepped. Actually, hang on. Let me do something here real quick.
Looks like PC is saying that they are ready now.
Okay, that means we still got our spectator.
We still have our. We still do.
So I just want a picture of. There we go. There we go.
I'm looking at the Discord stream, waiting to see if there's a if there's another soundboard coming through.
There will be in a moment, but I have to add a picture first. Hang on. Because I mean, last time we went to church, it was with Prince. However, this time going to church,
the weak fear the shadows. Fear control. I'm absolutely.
I think we have to go. Hang on, I'll leave. I was going to do some work, but I'm going to leave it here.
I'll beat it out of you.
Take your time. Take your time.
Who questions my ability?
Oh, got the music going.
May top diff be achieved in one way or the other. May the isolated power of that lane so far away from the rift overwhelm and prevail when needed in team fights. Amen.
Amen.
That's a little prayer to impact for both Ducklord and Tarded, as we did see the top lane have such a massive impact there on the game.
And of course, I mean, Naughty Prince they're praying that his top laner can go in with this Darius and cause mayhem.
Yeah. I mean, you were saying that Tarded had an absolute carry performance on the Darius in another game, right?
He did. He went 5-0-5 in a previous game, I believe, against another tank. I can double check that momentarily. But the Darius pick is not something new, and last time it was with a Ghost Flash. So this isn't a play safe, get tanky type of Darius. We are making plays today.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get those results coming through. I wish I pinned them, but I don't think I can pin chat messages in the results. So let me see. Oh, I already found it. There was a 7-1-1 game against the Jacks. So this time it will be against the Malphite. I don't know if we've seen this before with the Darius against the Malphite from the Narwhals. But I'll do some more research and I'll find out.
Yeah. Likely not. I will say, Malphite has been absolutely tearing up pro play lately. I believe there was a Malphite pentakill that happened. I think it was in the LPL. So you can't discount the tank up here on Duck doing just a metric ton of damage. However, the Darius is more of a known quantity, so I'm excited to see what Ducklord has prepared for us. We can take a look here at how the betting. So less Schmeckles this time. Boss guy not going all in, so perhaps missed the bet, or perhaps thinking maybe this game too they're being a little bit more experimental, a little bit different, although they are still on the Swain. So it will be a more even 28k to 20k. Schmeckles here, side click, voting for Panthacor, and Wolf voting for the Naughty Boys. So we will have to see.
Yes, we will. Now, we saw the Swain last game. We saw the Poppy last game. We know that these two will work together to find picks and make plays happen. So this game, Panthacor just needs to, play a little bit back, let the Victor scale, let the Vayne get into a place where she can start shredding these tanks, and don't get too overzealous. Don't, you may see Prince on his own, but if he has that ult up, he will have a safe button here to save himself. If you walk into the jungle and you don't see that Darius, and Darius just appears behind you, you're gonna be in for some bad luck there. So on the side of Panthacor, I'm just looking for clean plays where if they can get a pick, great. Otherwise, let the Victor scale, let the Malphite get tanky, and let the Vayne get into a position where they can just shred and just play the front to back.
Yeah. Will be interesting here. I mean, we did see Chaz with a pretty great performance on the Jinx last game. It'll be exciting to see what they can pull off this game. I'm excited to see what Little can do on this Victor. I think Little looked pretty darn good on the Rise as it was, and I think Rise, maybe not universally agreed upon, but I certainly think the Rise main subreddits would agree, that Rise is not in the best place right now. So on a slightly more meta champion with a little bit more tools, it will be interesting to see what can happen. For sure. Yeah,
I mean, if the Victor gets to the point where we have this upgraded W, we have this upgraded E, the Victor's gonna be able to lock down, this Darius, lock down this Poppy from being able to get into his team, and just start build a Leandries, build if you can get a Darkseal going, amazing, and just start trying to pump out the damage into these things. Yeah. At least get them a little lower health for the Vayne to start following it up and start executing them.
100%. That spectator delay will be over, and we can get into game 2 of this series in Financial Group B for the low-budget LCS. Sammy 2Slap, I would love an electric Smurf to drink. Please, I'll take one. Can you ship it to me? Now let's look at the skin game. We do have 4 skins versus 4 skins, so both of them have the correct number of skins there. Ooh, we are in game too quickly. Are you at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? All right, yep. My friend. Goodbye.
So last game was Panthacor opted to go 5-stack in the top lane. I'm curious, or no, I'm sorry, Narwhals was stacked 5 together in the top side. I'm curious to see if they will do the same in the bot side here, and it looks like both teams will. Both teams are gonna start off as a 5-man group. They're gonna share the luck, spread the love. It looks like
not a single soul is touching the top side of the map right now.
Not a single one. Now Panthacor is a little bit more aggressive. They're saying we're gonna try and control the river a little bit. Narwhal was saying we're gonna wait to see if they come in the bot side, and if they do, then we'll catch them. So far, they're not seeing anything, so they will send Target up to the top lane. They're going to keep everyone else here. Maybe send the Swain a little bit more towards mid. And it looks like Panther Core is going to do the same and start dispersing. So no early game skirmishes going on here. But we do know that both sides did alleviate a lot of pressure on the top side. So they will have to spend some wards and spend some, a little bit of curious, look, say, do we think they're in this bush? No, are we? Am I good? Am I good to walk here? Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So the map able to get back to his lane.
The number of times I have been absolutely destroyed by 5 people just full committing to sitting in my buff bush is higher than I would like to admit. Hypothetically, it leaves people behind, but god damn if it doesn't put the jungler in a pretty bad spot to start the game. That being said, not gonna quite be that here.
It looks like Ducklord is just gonna go for the normal Malphite play, just cue the Darius on Arcane Comet cooldown and just stay away.
Yeah, it does have that Doran's ring as opposed to the Doran's shield, so going for a little bit more of that AP damage there in the Malphite. We'll probably see tank Malphite, but it could be AP actually.
It very well could be. It's so normally you still can go a tank build. Oh, looks like something happened in the bot lane. Kin's able to land a Q, but Rakan easily able to get out of there. So for the Comet on the Malphite, whether you go tank or AP, Comet just helps in keeping pressure. Because otherwise you just won't be able to farm, you won't be able to survive if you go pure tank. So going this Arcane, going this Doran's rank kind of just gives you enough to be like, hey, listen, like, I'm not super weak, I can hold my own up here. I just have to respect that, like, if you get in on me, I might be in trouble.
Yeah, I gotta love Naughty Kittens hitting a hook onto a minion and then flashing the M7. A Chibi Dragon here. Boss guy potentially going to be okay, but will get hit by that Resonating Strike. Forced to flash over the wall. The Q is going to fall. Little's going to flash, and that is going to be first blood. Going over to the Victor. Zebra now forced to use Little as a little carrier to get out of that fight. But that is going to be a great play from Panther Core, and they're going to be able to get first blood.
So they do get the flash out of Zebra. They get the flash and now the teleport out of Boss Guy. So they're getting a lot of sums out of this mid lane. And I'm curious, is Panther Core going to take advantage of this? We do see Tartar making his way down. So if Chief Dragon stays a bit too long here, this could look ugly for him.
Yeah, it is possible. But
looks like Darius,
he's just going to be able to get that scuttle.
He gets the scuttle. He's going to get his Raptors. And say, listen, we have Little here with the kill now. So Little's going to back and have a goodbye. And let's just try and use this
might
lead.
Be a little bit of trouble. Is going to get rooted up, but Naughty Kitten's not going to choose to go for the follow-up hook.
Right now, Narwhals boss side, they're saying, we have this Nautilus that's able to just, kind of look for these auto Qs. Let's just try and just pressure them down and try and maybe force the jungler down here to see if he can like make a play. It looks like Chief Dragon we'll see that they're pushed in. And we'll opt to try and look for a gank here.
Yeah, Jackie Boy not going to quite find that knock up. The third strike for Vayne passive Silver Roll does land. Naughty Kitten going to be in trouble. And Gigachast just going to be able to get that one on the fadeaway with Jackie Boy's Ignite, helping him tick down. Now we're going to be able to get the second kill of the game.
It hurts to see. Zaya, Prince was just like 5 mana away from being able to cast E there and could have maybe looked for a counter kill. But just running out of mana at the last second of that fight means that Panther Core is able to get away with a free kill onto their support.
Yeah, absolutely. And Panther Core coming out decisively this game. Again, actually, I don't think we've quite talked about who has a slightly better scaling comp. I think Panther Core, again, has the better scaling comp, as we are going to see a little bit of trading in the top lane. With the Vayne and Victor particularly. And they, right now, are up ahead in the early game.
Yeah, they're saying, listen, last game we played scaling, and we just let Naughty Narwhals get away with just pressuring us and getting all these resources early game. Let's get a lead early, and then hold in the mid lane to just secure the late game win here. Yeah. So you're gonna have Little just he's just gonna keep using his tier up, just farm out the minions, get some poke here and there on the Swain. If they can make a play happen on him like they did before, awesome. Otherwise, she's just gonna farm up, try and get these pokes out to try and work on his passive. Other than that, they're just gonna try and get some security over this early dragon if they can.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like the push is here for the side of the Narwhals, but Poppy isn't in position. Doesn't maybe quite want to take it. Taking Dragon level 4 as a jungler is usually a bait. We do see Lee Sin getting ready for another gank in the bot lane. Ward not available. Resonating Strike is going to hit there on a Money Kitten. Jackie Boy not quite going to be able to find the knockup though, and that means they're likely going to be okay. Root Collar finds him, but not too much more going to happen on the back one. Actually, no, Chibi Dragon going back to the bush is going to get caught up. W used from Zebra. So Pop is going to be good. Ignite used there from Naughty Kitten.
Now they know that Chibi is low here, so Narwhals could look for some pressure into this jungle and maybe even pressure for the dragon. It is still a little bit early, but they know they just, they force the Lee Sin back. Maybe they can take some of the jungle, take this blue buff. But it's going to be a little bit tough because Jackie Boy is just going to kind of roam around and say, hey, listen, like, you don't know if the Vayne is right with me or if she's covering lane. So you're not really that safe in just taking this buff for free.
Little moving as well is going to mean that that blue buff will be defended by Panthercore. Going to maintain their lead a little bit. It looks like it has shrunk a tiny bit. It was about 1,000. Now it's looking more like 700 here. So perhaps a little bit of CS differential in the top lane, in the bot lane. Going to be helping them out there.
Oh, looks like Tarded
here. Tarded looking to get those stacks on. Does have the ultimate available, but sitting on 4th. And Ducklord is going to be able to get on out underneath his turret to be safe.
I'm surprised Tarded didn't opt to burn a stun there just to force, the ultimate out of the Ducklord. But it looks like he's just going to play it safe. Just says, you know what, I don't need to waste any summoner spells. I can just pressure you. Oh, gets a good pull and forces the ult out anyway.
Yeah, unstoppable force forced to use there from thy Ducklord in order to get out of that pull. They are incredibly low underneath this turret here, but they've already lost enough CS. They don't want to give up another wave.
Yeah, and they don't have the TP as well, so it's a little bit risky though, because if Darius is able to land a flash pull onto this Malphite, it might just spell out a death for him. So he has to be farming at max range here. He can't risk this Darius getting in on top of him.
Yeah, it's going to be quite scary here for Ducklord. But, does have that shield passive that will help a little bit. In terms of staying
He also
healthy.
does have the early boost, but so does the Darius. Darius lands the Q, lands the E.
Dangerous. That's going to be 3 stacks. That's going to be 4. That's going to be an execution. Tarded finding another solo kill here in game 2.
Tarded didn't even use either summons either. He was just, he realized the Malphite was a little too close, landed the Q, landed the E, and said, I'm not letting you go anywhere.
Yeah.
Takes a plate as well, just for good luck. And this is going to be a lot of gold into the hands of the Darius, which is really good for Narwhals. Here is going to give him a little bit of pressure on the top side, saying you have the early lead mid, you have the early lead bot, but we have an early lead top, so you don't control the whole map here.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to ignore the fact that Darius bought Kindle Gem there for a second. Because I want to tell you a story about a Darius that I played against recently. They built mostly normal, but the mythic that they went first was Duskblade. Duskblade Darius is absolutely terrifying, almost as terrifying as Naughty Kitten gonna get knocked up here, forced to flash over the wall, but that might not be enough. Chibi Dragon here available, Ignite ticking down, and Chibi Dragon is gonna kill the Nautilus.
I mean, the Panthercore has this...
Okay, from behind, he's going to find Boss Guy in the middle. Knock up from Jackie Boy will be good. Is using the ultimate, though. Will get some healing, and Boss Guy is going to be able to stay alive here. However, 4 members, 5 coming here for the side of Panthercore. Does mean that this turret is going to be under some heavy siege.
As we mentioned before, Panthercore has this lead in this mid bot side. Narwhals isn't allowed to just walk around aimlessly, especially, even in the outer parts of their own jungle, because Panthercore will punish you.
Yeah, and Callie, thank you for being the latest investor in the low-budget LCS. Let me know if I pronounced your name right or not. You know what you're going to do. Actually, you might not, so let me let you know what you're going to do. you're going to go to the Denny's in Vermont. It's the one to the north. It's just outside of Burlington. Talk to our buddy Todd around back. Pancakes are on us. Boss guy, in the meantime, going to be under attack here a little bit, but we'll just be able to get it out.
He didn't want to die on you. He didn't want you to have to stop explaining what happens when you subscribe to us for Prime, as we always love.
You get free
so
pancakes.
He's a little safe.
You get free pancakes if you're in Vermont. Now they're going to look to go into the current boss guy, going to be the recipient of a resonating strike, but meanwhile, Poppy on the back end is going to find Little into the wall, along with Naughty Kitten, so there's going to be a weird doubling of the play, where Panther Corps are going to have to loop around the side. God, it is actually so hard for me to keep track which side is Panther Corps, because the team I was most familiar with Panther Corps was Ghosts, and so I see Zebra, and I see Ruffian, and I think, that's Panther Corps. But no, they're the Rebels. They broke from their old team. But really good play from both sides, getting a kill. Plates going down with that Herald. Mid-turret should be soon to fall.
Yeah, with that popping as well, I mean, you now have this mythic right onto the Lee Sin already. You've got a Noon Quiver and Tier 2 boots onto this vein. And, the Victor, wasn't going to get too much gold. Did get a Lost Chapter out of it. Does have the Fiendish Codex as well. So you do see a lot of gold going into this, jungle bot side for Panther Corps, which is exactly what they need to hold the pressure and try and stack these Drakes. So looks like Jackie Boy is gonna, try and clear out some vision here, saying we don't want to seed this dragon vision while the Lee Sin is up near top lane, getting his camp speeds, making his way down, and we're getting ready for this dragon. And I think we're gonna see a fight break out, especially around this Nautilus here.
Hopefully we do. There have been some pretty good picks in this game, but all told, it has pretty much been that 700 gold lead that has now dwindled down to a 400 gold lead here in the favor of Panther Corps. TV Dragon going to be going in. Hook not quite going to land, but the Root will. Little going to be pulled into their own gravity field. Now Zebra going to prevent anyone from leading. Charms up are going to be found. Kick through. Zebra can go to the back line, but they were going to slay Little. Boss Guy, though, going to be traded in response. And now both down mid laners, they can look at Dragons. However, Tarded coming down here from the top lane. Does not have a Mythic, but is still a Darius. Noxie and Guillotine will be available.
Now this does mean, with the Victor down, Panther Corps loses a lot of their zone coverage. The Victor able to place down his W, able to pressure with the Z. A lot of that being gone, it does let Narwhals just take control of the jungle and look to take this drag away from Panther Corps.
Yeah, and it looks like even with the Duck Lord making it all the way down to the mid lane, they're not going to make the call to contest the dragon. Probably, I want to say, because of that Poppy ultimate.
Yeah, the Poppy is just able to say, you want to contest this dragon, I'm just going to ult you away. But it does look like Tarded will try and get some pressure onto the Duck Lord.
The consistency with which Tarded is able to get 4 stacks, but not quite 5, of bleed onto Duck Lord is fascinating. Okay, another pull in. We'll have to see the same thing can happen here. That's 4.
Yeah, 4.
I mean,
no, it's only 4. Only 4 is overlapped. That will be the trade of Ghost for the ultimate on the Malphite.
Yeah. Malphite mostly going to be using that ultimate to team fight, and it looks like Panther Corps are just looking to keep scaling up here. Naughty Narwhals not able to find quite as much initiative in the plays this game. Not quite as scaling on the side of Panther Corps either, though, so we'll have to see what happens. Hook is going to land here on a Chibi Dragon, and TP instantly going to be channeled, although Unstoppable Force not going to be available. Zebra taking a ton of damage. Chibi Dragon's going to go in. They're going to find it, but a Root Collar finds 2, and Jackie Boy now has to flash away. But they are going to live up, and Naughty Prince, recipient of a Q on the back end, is burning, but will not burn all the way down. Boss Guy going to be a little cheeky on the side, but it is just going to be a 1-for-1. They keep mirror trading.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to which team comp is gonna win out on top, I mean, last time Narwhals won out on the Dragon. This time it looks like nothing really is given or loss. I mean, maybe some vision as we see Kins taking down some on the bot side, but otherwise nothing really. We got some TPs. Boss Guy had to TP in there to try and get behind. We had the Duck Lord instantly TP to get into that fight. So a little bit of loss of sums. Overall, It's just, just some trading here and there, trying to get more gold onto one side. It does let Little take this turret down in the mid lane.
Absolutely. Boss Guy, though, going to potentially be in a little trouble. Forced to flash away. TV Dragon not quite going to land the smite, so that means going to be Boss Guy is safe for now.
We have to be careful, though, as we see on these items. The Darius does have Black Cleaver now, so Darius will start to shred. And that means that even this Malphite, even with this Aegis of the Legion and with these, these plated steel caps, that armor is not really going to help you against this Darius.
Yeah. Malphite has a bit of change in the pocket. I think is probably approaching enough for the Mythic. Not quite sure what Malphite's going to want to go. If they want to go the Radiant Virtue for healing, or if they want to go Frostfire, perhaps, for more trading in terms of the auto attacks. But should be getting that one up pretty soon.
Yeah,
we are seeing great CS numbers, particularly from the top lane and the AD carry position here for Narwhals.
Yeah, they're able to catch these waves. The Darius is just, Tard is just saying this top lane is mine. I am controlling the waves. I'm controlling it. But we do see Chief Dragon saying, hey, maybe I can get around. Maybe I can look for you. But the Poppy and the Nautilus are really close behind.
Yeah, Resonating Strike going to hit. TP is going to be forced out here from Boss Guy. So the response TP is going to come here through from Little. Jackie Boy will be hooked up in the back end, but no one was quite there to support Naughty Kitten. Just like TP will be traded for TP, and both teams might take a look to Rift Herald.
Looks like Little will opt to back here, which I think will give Naughty Narwhals the ability to just take this, unless we see Chibi going for something here, but it looks like he opts away and just goes towards his top side. They say, listen, we didn't have the control of the map, we didn't have the sums for it, let's not, let this become a 50-50 that we may throw.
Yeah, and while, it does seem like Panther Corps are just sort of seeding objectives, I do like it from their composition. I do think they scale better. And I think that they're saying, look, last game, there were too many scrappy fights that we lost too many times. This game, we'll get a bit of a lead, and then we can use that to coast into the late game. So while their lead has been going down and down and down from that 600-700 that they got initially from that bot play, even though they've mostly traded evenly, it means they have bought themselves time, which is the most crucial factor for their composition.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we do see that the Swain has now 5 stacks going for the Rod of Ages. So the Swain is starting to scale a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit tanky, but we do have the, we have the Victor on the Leandries. We have the Vayne with her pass, and it looks like they also got a Rage Knife in. So I'll be curious to see what they go for with that. But either way, I think it will allow, the Vayne to start getting more on hit, getting more attack speed into these front lines, and start to shred.
Ooh, Little is going to be found up inside of their own gravity well. Boss Guy looking to do the damage, but a double pull means that Naughty Prince is going to be able to get that one. Now Jackie Boy looking to do the damage inside of the back line, but Tarded able to find a second Noxian Guillotine. And now that means that the Narwhals take a little bit of a gold lead for themselves in this game and are able to find their second Drake.
Yeah, Naughty Narwhals was able to control the boss side here. We had a lot of vision on the side of Panther Corps, but Naughty Narwhals just didn't care. They were just like, we can go in. If we have this Darius and this Poppy out in front, and this Nautilus laying their hooks, we can go where we please. We can pressure you where you think you have control. But if you don't have this Rakan to protect you, or this Malphite who can tank a little bit and then ult out, we will pick your carries and we will take not only them but the objectives around them.
Yeah, and it's so hard there because Ducklord did TP to the fight. But the fight happened in such a snap moment. Jackie Boy is going to be in trouble. Willie trapped inside the Poppy W, although that will go down. Ducklord able to find 2. Now knock up from Jackie Boy also finds 2, but Jackie Boy will be rooted down. They're able to find it out, and they're going to find a shutdown there onto Naughty Prince. Now Boss Guy and Zebra forced to run away, as is Naughty Kitten, and a bite back from the Panthers.
Yeah. Naughty Narwhals is getting a little bit over themselves. They're saying, we won the fight bot. Maybe we can take their top jungle too and get some pressure for this Baron. And Panther Corps is saying, you can't just do this. We still have Malphite who can engage on you, and really good follow from this Vayne and Rakan and this Lee Sin here. Like we can pressure back and take our side of the map away from you. And now it looks like they're going to look to pressure as well and try and get this top turret. It's going to be a little bit tough as the Darius still has a very wealthy gold lead and has, you know, now is working on the Sheen as well with another Kindle gem. So Darius getting tanky and getting strong. So with that, they're unable to take the top turret, and it looks like they might see a little bit of pressure on the top side. Looks like with that, Narwhals will be able to try and take some vision away from them on the top side. But they are sending Swain Boss Guy to the bot lane to try and, you know, apply some pressure. He does have TP though.
Yeah, Tarded is going to be 3v1 here, however. Zebra is going to show up. They're going to remove the Lee Sin, and now Ducklord, Little going to be in trouble. Little just going to flash out of there. They will be safe.
Beautiful flash from the Victor and the W to keep the Nautilus away from being able to engage on you as well. But that will be the Victor flash. So with that away for this next fight, it will be interesting to see if Narwhals tries to take advantage of this and tries to look for an early pick on Victor the next time they see him, knowing he is flashless.
Yeah, and I feel like if you want to kill the Victor, you need either what you have there, the Victor, or you need the Vayne. I think either of those champions, fortunately, can get the job done. However, I don't think Ducklord and Chibi alone will be able to get it. Low Robot Man coming in with their phrase that they say every stream, LeChance licks toes. However, this time, they made a fatal mistake. LeChance licks foes.
The chance is looking for their foes, and they will lick their toes.
Does LeChance... Okay, we have to convert LeChance into a Tom Kench main now, right? As it looks like the Narwhals are going to start up this Baron here. I'm very hesitant to start a Baron into Lee Sin.
Not only just into Lee Sin, but also without knowing exactly where the Vayne was, and without knowing where the Malphite was. Because although they may be a little bit ahead, it's still tough to say that, you know, this Vayne can't just shred you.
Yeah.
Looks like they will be opting to send the Swain topside with TP, and it looks like they might, with that, just look for more pressure. It looks like Boss Guy is going to start the Baron, though. So this will be curious now. Now, Little does have TP here from the bot lane. Will he TP up? It looks like he will TP up here. Yep. And now Panther Corp looking to try and pull him off of it. You know, poke him out with the Victor. Try and, you know, put the Xayah,
Zebra finding a stun into the wall. Giga Chaz, though, able to find the Silver Bolt's not going to be critically pulled back by Tarded there, but the Ghosting Darius is very, very, very scary for this Vayne here. Naughty Prince being the reinforcement of the back. Chibi Dragon now going to be found up by the Zebra, going to be knocked up with the ultimate. Ward hopping over just to keep them safe, but now Little is on the back end looking to burn. It is a disparate fight from Panther Corps. They've only lost one so far.
Looks like Little is just going to have to keep running here, try and get away. But if Narwhals is able to get this pick, they will also have the Dragon coming up soon. So they will have pressure for that as well if they're able to find Little here.
Yeah, Little going to be slammed into the wall there. And with the entirety of the Narwhals hanging on the back of that Poppy, they are going to be able to find that pick. Dragon up in 23. Means this is likely going to be third Drake here for Bobby. But Zebra wants more. Zebra going in, looking to do damage on the Giga Chads. And them going to be the ticket out of there.
Now, Narwhals, you know, they already get the picks. They already get the pressure. Looks like some of them are going to be backing, but they will have the pressure for this Dragon stacking. And getting this means that they will be on soul point. So it looks like, you know, Narwhals really wants to get this Dragon, especially the Infernal. You know, that's a huge amount of pressure for your Xayah, for your Swain. I mean, it gives you a lot of, you know, front damage that you may not have from this, you know, the Darius, you know, from this Poppy. And getting them this damage will help a lot in the later fights into this, you know, more scaling Panther Corps squad. So I think Panther Corps really needs to stop the scaling, you know, stop this Dragon stacking from Narwhals and really look for a play here.
Absolutely. Now, Vayne critically was sitting on 1,800 gold that fight, has now completed the entirety. Jackie Boy, he's going to go in there, will find the charm up, knock up, found, tag teaming Naughty Prince, teammates fight in the back line, but Naughty Prince is going to be able to stay alive as Jackie Boy falls. Ducklord looking to do the damage. Boss Guy going to be taken down as well, but so is Chaz, and they've lost their Vayne, and now there's a very scary Darius in the middle of the team. He's proccing the damage, but they're able to find kills on the back line. Little is left alone. Zebra and Tarded will be left alive as Tarded finds a triple kill.
Hearted just waiting for the fight to break out, looking for this way to get around the carries and start, pressuring down and try and get these passing stacks going. Is exactly what he does. He plays it safe. He says, "Hey, I'm not going to join the fight until it's a little later. I'll queue here and there, try and help you guys peel out." But the second this, Jackie Boy, uses engage on Prince and sees that all these like CC resources are used up, it gives Tarda the ability to start going in and starting pouring out this damage.
Yeah, and I mean that fight I think looks a lot different if Naughty Prince dies earlier than they did. They were on a sliver of HP after Ducklord and Jack dived them in the back line, but there just wasn't anything that Chibi, Little, or Chaz could do to pile on any additional damage there to really help solidify that 80 carry kill. And now, Jackie Boy potentially going to be in trouble. Will be able to jump over the wall, but Boss Guy is there and ready to go. Triple charm up, triple knock up, but you don't have the damage to follow it up. Little is not in the area, and now the big purple worm is going to be on the table for the Narwhals.
Narwhals just getting these picks and getting this control over these objectives. It's forcing Panther Corps to get into these positions where they have to force a fight that they may not want otherwise.
Yeah, Boss Guy going to be trying to zone out on the back of the pit. Knocked away is going to be Ducklord here, and into the pit goes Zebra, but the Baron is going to be claimed by Naughty Prince. Now flashing over the wall, but condemned into it. Giga Chaz just going to try and disengage that one, as Naughty Narwhals are wearing purple, and they're looking to set themselves up for an Infernal Soul.
Yeah, beautiful E by Prince to secure that that Baron from Dragon trying to go in and steal with the Lee Sin. That's the power you have from this Xayah, is not only just the team fight aspect of it, but the ability to shred these objectives with her E once she gets a lot of feathers out. So looks like Zebra is gonna look for just some pressure on Jackie Boy, forces his W out, and it looks like they're just gonna try and control this top side. They have this Baron buff, they have the Darius bot side, they've got the Xayah mid. I'm curious if they send the Swain top side, and it looks like he is opting to go there. So they're just gonna go for like a 1-3-1, try and just control the map and just pressure everywhere they can.
Looking at these two games, if these are the only games you were drawing League of Legends data from, I'd just say Sunder is OP.
Yeah. Sunder's OP, and Poppy Engage is so strong.
It's so strong. The angles that are being found here by Zebra are almost as good as his cooking, and that is saying something. If you've ever looked at the Home and Garden Bragging channel, if you haven't, go ahead on over there. It's got some of the best content in the League of Legends LCS.
So now, you're Panther Corps. You got the late game. You have this Victor who's starting to do more damage in these fights. You have the Vayne who's starting to ramp up in attack speed. How do you pilot these fights to try and keep this Darius away from your carries and keep Poppy from engaging and locking down, your CC chains?
Take Vayne. Take Victor. Have them hit the same person for about 5 seconds. That person should die. Now, how are you not going to die while that's happening, as a double pull is going to be found here from Tarded. Jackie Boy going to stay in, as they do have the slipperiness that Rakan allows. But right now the problem is that Naughty Narwhals are playing the macro game very well and not allowing the carries on the side of Panther Corps to group.
Yeah, I mean, without, all Panther Corps really has is a form of wave clear is just this Victor, and the Victor can't be in every lane. So you sadly Vayne, although great into a single target, really does not do well against these waves. So it kind of allows Naughty Narwhals, as long as they play this, this spread out, have a carry in the top lane, have a carry in the bot lane, and just protect your Xayah in the mid lane with that super fast wave clear. It's really hard for them to really counteract this.
is going to go into the back line. Naughty Kitten now going to be the recipient. Ulted away is Jackie Boy, and now Ducklord will find themselves yet again alone in the back line of the team. Little, the critical member of Panther Corps, will be rooted up on the remains of their inner turret. Giga Chaz trying to do the damage, but is going to be found underneath the turret. Chibi Dragon left as the lone survivor. But the Narwhals find their fight. They trade Boss Guy for the game.
Yeah, now they're just gonna run it down. Baron buff is over, but they have a wave. They have advantage, and it looks like they're going to clean out this series and make it a 2-0.
Yeah. Naughty Narwhals showing themselves why they were on top of the standings. Two teams came into this match undefeated. But only one team has left.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these damage charts after the game, and it's just equal along the board of 9 Narwhals. I mean, you have this 1,300 damage from the Darius, 1,300 damage from the Poppy, 1,400 damage from the Swain, 1,800 damage from the Zaya. I mean, all of 9 Narwhals were on the page of like, we are all here to work for this win.
Yeah. And if anyone from the Narwhals would like to come on, would like to do an interview, we would more than welcome it. Let me just put community chat. Da-da-da-da.
Get their lovely attention.
I'm sure we have it, as I do see Ruffian already in the chat. But just for good measure.
Yeah, I've got the 2 drafts up on my screen. It's interesting to see. I mean, they were consistent on they wanted this. Oh wait, no, this is the same draft. What am I doing? I had it somewhere. They're consistent on this Poppy pick. They're consistent on this Swain pick, and they and both of them just executed these champs beautifully. I mean, you had, the top lane. You had these different, tank versus bruiser, and tank versus, Camille just going in, and it looks like we will have someone joining our lovely chat here.
We have Mr. Naughty Ruffian, aka Naughty Prince himself. Hang on, let's just go back to church for a minute here.
It's my favorite place to be.
All right, well, talk to us about the 80 carry picks, and talk to us about the decision making around them in both Game 1 and Game 2, because Full Metal had noted prior to this series that you primarily had been popping off on Jinx, whereas Chaz primarily had been popping off on Zaya.
Yeah, so Zaya, I don't know if this is actually true, but Zaya is banned against us in most games, which is why I don't get to play it very often. If you look at both of my ranked accounts, it's like probably like 80% of my games are on Zaya. So it's definitely my main champion. I was pretty happy to get it Game 2. Game 1, we gave over a double kill, and it was both went on to Chaz Jinx, and in my head I'm like, okay, that's not good. But it was there was a lot of kills happening topside, which were really nice to balance that out. Just want to note, Camille was 0 deaths both games. It was a perfect series, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Tarded just was holding this topside pressure to let, no matter what happened in the bot lane, was basically like, I will be a pressure for you to recover from whatever happens bot lane.
Yeah, it's a nice like safety net. He's a great guy. He's a great player too.
So now that you all have solidified yourselves at the top of Financial Group B standings, I have to assume you all are looking at playoffs. Is there a team in a different group that you are most excited to face going into potentially these playoffs in the future? Or was Highlanders kind of the pinnacle of your experience, being that you yourself were one of the founding members of Highlanders?
Right. Was the founding member. It's
the founding member.
I named it. I gave them their crests and everything. It's my family crest. Like it's my little child. I mean, Highlanders definitely, we were looking at that as like the only other team with no losses. And then I mean, Group A, Team Fried Chicken. I've been in a league with them a couple of times. They're great. Pretty excited to play against them too. Team Volatility as well has Dingus as their ADC guy. I really respect him, like mechanically. He's really, really good. So we've scrimmed them a couple times. I'm pretty excited for that too. And then of course my boys PC Aces, right? Can't forget about them.
Nice, love to hear. So going into these games, what really did you guys value a part of the game? Like, were you guys talking about we want to secure the objectives, we want to just look for skirmishes? Like, what were you guys looking for going into these 2 games?
So Game 1, we were definitely looking for picks. Their comp is like Thresh, Jarvan, Ryze R as well, Ornn R. So if we're able to either get them to burn one of the pick tools early, or just like catch out Ornn, catch out Thresh, it makes the game a lot easier for us to play. Because if they're the ones diving into us, it can be scary. There was a pretty big gold lead, so it wasn't too bad. But I think if the game is even, it gets a little bit scary. But we also have so much disengage with like Poppy W and Alistar as a champion, Swain like unkillable with his R. So game one, we were definitely kind of playing back, but I mean, there was a couple times where we just kind of full sent it, which was not exactly how we wanted to play the draft, but because of just like the situation or like however much gold we had, it was pretty fine. And like I said, that game started off with a 2-0 jinx, so it was kind of scary at first. But and I think I was down 40 CS at one point, so it was looking a little bit grim. But luckily, I had the top side clutch up.
And then for game two, I mean, you had your pick on Xayah. You saw them pick away the Rakan away from you. You lost your lover. So you waited back, you get your Nautilus, and you guys were just able to just pressure them and pressure them and pressure them in the bot lane.
Yeah, it was game two was a little bit different. There was like a lot of really wacky rotations going on game two, so it was kind of like we had like an unshackled support with me and Vayne kind of just ping-ponging waves, and then Rakan, Nautilus were roaming a lot. Like, I don't remember, there was like one Lee Sin gank, I think, early, but then besides that, there was like no. So game two is definitely more just like trying to get our, I mean, there as well, we had like the solo lane Darius, right? Like a super hard carry with Ghost, like can run people down. So definitely playing around the map a little bit more game two than in game one.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us today here at the Low Budget LCS. I'm going to find a channel to raid while Naughty Prince. Do you have anyone you would like to shout out? Any vocal supporters? Anything like that? Coaches?
Shout out the guys that were flaming our draft game one. I don't know. I thought we had a pretty decent draft. That was pretty funny to read.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like...
Is Captain Flowers streaming? What about M&S?
Flowers is streaming. M&S was earlier.
Oh, wait, Tenacity was streaming earlier.
Was he really?
I saw him, yeah. He was streaming earlier, right before the game started.
Love to see the 100 Thieves hype train going.
No,
yeah.
Neither of them are currently streaming.
I know the LEC is on a rebroadcast.
It looks like Aegis Esports.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, looks like they're doing a roll down on.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and raid them. Biofrost is streaming. Let's raid Biofrost. Because I think they're streaming TFT. So
nice.
Let's go ahead and raid Biofrost.
Don't get me started on Biofrost. I ran to see the man over in North Carolina.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I got his autograph though. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Alrighty, gamers. Well, with that, I'll have Full Metal take us out with his classic phrase.
All right, guys. You know how it goes. You win the game, you win the series, you win the season. Let's go. Get these Discord rules and get these vibes. Let's head on over to Biofrost.